It seems hard to believe that the Game Awards made its debut appearance back in 2014. It was born as a result of the Spike Video Games Awards and Game Trailers both ending its run in 2013, giving the opportunity for presenter Jeff Keighley to reimagine a Games Awards show. If you've never watched one, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the Oscars, except replace the movies with video games and throw in some world-exclusive premiere trailers. In one fell swoop, Jeff Keighley gave audiences a reason to watch the show and root for their games, debate about the winners online, and for publishers to broadcast to a massive audience. It's actually a very impressive production, and way better than anything video games have ever had in their quest to become mainstream. But with that said, I've always had a problem with the Game Awards, and many other award shows, to be honest, and much of it comes down to the fact that the awards serve its own interests rather than gamers, and as a result, it's almost become impossible to unsee the corporatism at work. Now, remember, if you like this video, hit that like button, and also to subscribe for more gaming videos like this. Let's talk about the first problem I have with the Game Awards, which is the voting that leans very heavily towards media outlets rather than fans. In the FAQ on the rules on voting, the Game Awards writes that the nominees are chosen by an international jury of over 95 global media and influencer outlets, and just for the sake of transparency, 1/3 of these come from the US and UK, and 2/3 elsewhere. The fans also get to vote, though this is largely superfluous, as the media vote is worth 90% of the end vote, while the fan vote is worth just 10%. In other words, it's really only going to make a difference in the event of a tie. In the FAQ, the Games Awards gives reasons why fans don't completely choose the winners. The Game Awards writes, creating a 100% fan vote presents several challenges. First, given that some games are exclusive to one platform, a public vote puts single-platform games at a disadvantage. In addition, it is important that winners cannot be socially engineered in any way. We find that a blended vote is the most credible and authentic way to select winners. This feels like a rather undemocratic way of handling a populous awards show, effectively handing off who gets to decide the narrative back to the media, which I have to assume is fully intentional. Unfortunately, I find that the blend is too biased towards media outlets, and the fan vote feels like it should be worth much more. In fact, if you do the maths, if there's 100 jury votes and the fan vote is worth 10%, there would have to be a big swing difference in the fan vote to actually change the overall results, even when the media vote is very close. This really tells me the fan vote is rather meaningless and only included to stop fan backlash. That said, they do have a point that creating a 100% fan vote creates a number of challenges. The biggest one, of course, would be it would just turn into a popularity contest where the highest selling games would have the largest advantage. And this is probably any Games Awards' biggest challenge, in that not everyone is going to play the same games or have the same tastes, and ultimately a fan-voted Game Award is an unrealistic ask and an unsolvable problem. And I'll leave the discussion for solutions for fan voting in the comments section, so if you have any thoughts, make sure to comment down below. So that ultimately leaves the Games Awards as just a critics award where 100 media outlets get to yet again tell the general public what games they should play, and the publishers only too happy for that extra publicity. As if we don't have enough metrics on how to judge a game these days, with game reviews, Metacritic scores, media outlet awards, top 100 lists. The Games Awards is just further reinforcement that already celebrated games during the year should be celebrated again, mostly in the name of sales boosts. And this is why all of the big name video game companies and publishers have jumped on board, as the awards facilitate in a roundabout way credibility and legitimacy through a supposedly third party such as the Game Awards. The fact is, the Game Awards is really there to boost AAA gaming by legitimizing these companies' games with their awards, while at the same time publishers also get to announce their new games via world premiere trailers to a massive audience, which just adds to the hype train. Ultimately, this perpetuates in a recurring spiral of success for video game companies and publishers, and the Game Awards is just a vehicle for companies to legitimize their games. The Game Awards and publishers are there to work together, but they need you, the viewer, to watch. The winners have generally never needed the added publicity. Sekiro, God of War, Zelda, Overwatch, Witcher 3 all have been big hits regardless of the Game of the Year wins. There have been indie titles that have won for other awards or been nominated for Game of the Year, but in video gaming where it is just as much technical as it is artistic, the amount of resources a AAA title has far outweighs an indie title. And let me be clear, I'm not saying it's impossible for an indie title to win. I'm saying the big publishers love the Game Awards because the odds are in their favor. Is that any different to the real world where a better sports team gets home court advantage or the casino gets better odds? Not really, but it's just a bit disappointing that even a Games Award could be seen as serving a publisher's interests. Finally, most of it just feels like the whole thing is a self-congratulatory pat on the back for people in the industry. It's funny how most of the winners are the biggest games or the biggest names. Meanwhile, the masses get caught in endless arguments about whether Smash Bros. Should have beaten Sekiro. The solution is actually not having the Game Awards, because it would be impossible to represent the broad spectrum of today's gamers. But when there's money to be made from the inevitable Game of the Year discussion, we're left with a rather commercialized award ceremony that serves its own needs rather than the fans. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button and also to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.